Are you there? Baby, are you there?
Motherfuckers! Welcome again to beautiful Bangkok, Thailand. Beautiful day here. And this morning I watched a video that just had to be shared. The title is called One Thing All Young People Should Do While They Are Still Young by the Breaking Bad guy. I saw this pop up on YouTube a few days ago, but I did not expect this answer in particularly. It has to do with travel, and it has to do with being in high school and figuring out what you want to do. So I figured it really relates to this channel, so I would share it and then give my kind of expansion slash rant slash blog post on this subject, my advice for people in high school, maybe my past self in high school and in college, my honest thoughts to get myself where I am now, because obviously I was after this travel lifestyle and now it's a reality. Okay, so I'm gonna read some quotes from this video just to get you guys hyped up, and then you can watch the full thing after this. This is from the guy from Breaking Bad. Okay, I think people gain a tremendous amount of wisdom when they travel, when they wander, and when they allow themselves, as I did, to get lost. And maybe you'll find yourself somewhere.
Traveling forces you to be social. You have to get directions. You have to learn where things are. You're attuned to your environment. You have to be more careful about the weather and where your lodging is going to be, where you're going to eat, how you're going to get from one place to another.
He goes on to say, it's an experience like no other. I love to travel and I love not knowing where I am. It's an unusual thing. I purposefully teach that to my daughter, to not be afraid of not knowing where you are. So we'll go for a drive or a walk in a different city and my wife will say, do you know where you're going? I'll say, not really, just kind of exploring different places. Honestly, that's one of my favorite parts about traveling, is taking my motorbike, driving around a new city, and just getting lost. It says, but I think it's when we look down now to kids,
we look down now to 16-year-olds and say, where are you going to go to college? What are you going to do for the rest of your life? And it's like, they're not fully baked yet. How do they know? Give them a break. Just say, look, I think after high school, take a year off, take 2 years off, join the Peace Corps, travel, go figure things out, or just enjoy yourself. For the first time in their lives, they're adults, and they don't have to be somewhere. They're not told to be somewhere. Get used to that freedom. Get used to having the need to self-govern yourself, you know, to be able to employ self-discipline or not. Or you realize, oh my God, I'm really slovenly. If I'm not told I need to go to class, I don't go. You might discover something about yourself. I need order, I need that, I like that. Some people love to be said, this is where you have to be and this is what you need to do. Are you that type of person? Or are you a type of person that wants more freedom in your life?
And assuming you are the type of person who wants more freedom in your life, wants more travel in their life, this video is for you, obviously, because you're watching this channel and you probably say, oh, this is very interesting, this travel digital nomad guy. I'm going to keep watching this to figure out how I can make it possible for myself, because that's honestly how I started, is watching YouTubers and copying what other people were doing, what I wanted. So this is kind of my expansion to my past high school self, if I were to try to help my past high school self get to where I am now sooner. And that's to be here out in Thailand doing exactly what I've been showing on this channel for 3 years, well 2 years, but next month will actually be our 3rd year anniversary of traveling and working abroad. So assuming you're trying to get to a similar thing what we got going on. So my first note is gap year. Yes, gap year is the shit. More Americans should do it. Work abroad, teach English abroad, Peace Corps, etc. It may help you learn what you want to do. So gap year is a thing. I want all young people to know that, especially Americans, because not many Americans do it, but countries from all around the world, they do the gap year. And every traveler I talk to, it's like, yeah, why don't Americans do gap year? You know, you see Germans and Australians and English all around Europe, they're on their gap year. The Americans, they don't do that. So that's an option out there. If I was in high school, I would try to do some traveling / work abroad experience for a semester or a year. Then, assuming I already decided I don't need college because I want to be an entrepreneur, okay, I did go to college, I got a degree. Do I regret it? No, not necessarily, but I happen just to not be using that degree, and happens to a lot of people. Found something new, but that's the whole point of this, is to figure out exactly what you want to do before you jump into college and spend all that money, right? Or get into that debt. Whole nother topic. And then I would, after traveling, ideally after high school and working abroad or something, I would get a commission sales job just like I did out of university and stack paper. I would move into someone on the same travel lifestyle mission, and 10 to 20K of savings of corporate paychecks would be the blast off goal, or until you can't stand your job. So of course, 2020 hindsight, this is my exact story. After a short trip to Thailand, moved back home with Parker, who's been out here for 3 years with me, and we had an apartment, 1-bedroom apartment. There's like a sliding divider. That was his room. I slept on the couch for a year, and we were both on the mission of, okay, how are we gonna do some extended travel? How are we gonna go live abroad for a full year or something like that? Parker did a semester abroad. I just visited for a couple weeks, and the initial plan was to go out and teach English or work at a hotel or something like that, work at a resort or something like that. He did a hospitality major, and a huge life hack for you guys, young people, would be to start watching YouTube instead of TV. So that was a huge life hack that I talk about in all my videos. We didn't subscribe to cable. I didn't sign myself up with Comcast cable because that was my corporate job. We just streamed on the Apple TV, streamed YouTube about Thailand and about travel, and just got pumped up on travel porn and videos. And that's how we found Johnny, the digital nomad guy, YouTuber, blogger, who got us out to Chiang Mai to his conference in 2014, October. That's how we found Jabril. So YouTube is, obviously you're already on YouTube now, but if you can, just go ahead and commit and unsubscribe from your cable. You know, we used to watch a lot of NBA games, a lot of ESPN, but then a lot of shows, whatever. Then we just became YouTube consumers exclusively, pretty much. You can still watch your shows here and there, but if you become a YouTube consumer, for the most part, it will change your life, because it changed my life. So that's all I can say. It's my story. Okay, while you are working after high school in your job, you are working on your online hustle nights and weekends. Ideally, profitable to 1K a month before you quit your job, but sometimes taking a leap of faith is better. For example, Parker and I both had our dropshipping websites up and running, getting some traffic, but not even getting sales yet. But we took that leap of faith because we had 10K cushion saved up, and the Digital Nomad Conference, the Dropship Lifestyle 2014 was coming up in October, and we put that on the calendar earlier in 2014, and we said, no matter what, we're gonna go to that. So sometimes taking the leap of faith and going out and just hoping you figure it out is best. I'm not saying that's best for you. Everyone has their own situation. I'm just sharing my story. And we happened to get a little bit lucky with our product. It wasn't actually our business that's profitable now. Our main Amazon product, our main Amazon business, we had a couple failed products before we found the one that really hit. So not every business, not every online project is gonna fail or gonna succeed the first time. There's probably gonna be a couple failures, but that's business. But hey, you gotta start somewhere. And I would go to Chiang Mai, where we started, obviously, or another place in Southeast Asia, Bangkok, Saigon, where you can live around $1,000 per month. Obviously, in most of my videos, I recommend, if you're starting out, go to Chiang Mai. It's the simplest city, least distractions, and cheapest and biggest digital nomad community. I think that's a no-brainer. Go to Chiang Mai. Boom, there you go. But it's not just Southeast Asia. There's also places in Eastern Europe too, like Budapest is a popular online startup hub, whatever you want to call it. Medellin, Colombia, we just did a week there recently, earlier in the year. There's also pretty nice, cheap places in Mexico, Costa Rica, Panama City. So not just here, but there are many places if you just want to take a break and go post up somewhere in another country and live cheaply. Hey, that's what I would tell my high school self after I saved up, 10, 20K, or I just got so burnt out of my job, I had to go. Personally, I was knocking doors corporate sales, and I remember I was so burnt out, I couldn't even get out of my car to go knock on the next door. I was just so burnt out, and I'm sure a lot of you guys can relate. Just this summer, we went back, and I was talking to a couple good friends, and they still have a corporate job, and they're saving up a lot of good money, maybe like 20K or something like that, but they're just so burned out and ready for a change. And it comes down to the same thing. What do you want? What type of lifestyle do you want? And that's what this whole video is about. It's about figuring out what you want. So maybe you need to go and get lost, whether it's go on a motorbike trip around America. Just go get lost to find yourself, because
I want to live. I love the idea that I work from home whenever I want, don't have to shave, don't have to report to any boss or anybody else. That to me is success. I've often told the story about a friend of mine who is an attorney. He makes about 7 figures a year, but he works over 70 hours a week, has 3 small, beautiful little girls, doesn't really get that much time to spend with him because he's always working. Now, contrast that with other friends of mine that I know that have an internet business. They may live in, one that lives in Costa Rica, makes a few $100,000 a year, but probably works 15 to 20 hours a week. That, to me, so if you ask yourself, well, who would you rather be? Well, I would much rather be that latter person. So see, it's not really about the money. For me, it's about the lifestyle. And having that ultimate freedom, having that ultimate self-reliance that I can go whatever that I want, do whatever I want. I mean, today I can go on month-long vacations. I can spend as much quality time with my 2 small children. That's super important for me. It's just, so that's what success means for me.
If you want travel, extended travel, to be a part of your life, I don't see any better way as a young person to do that other than having an online business, online hustle, internet marketing type stuff, something you can do from your laptop. And I have another video on different types of businesses you can do from your laptop. Link will be in the description. And a lot of people that travel like this, travel lifestyle, they actually work for a company that just work remotely. So working remotely is totally a thing that's getting more and more common too. So, and freelancing. So anyways, freelance, do freelance jobs, work remotely, or have your own small online business, online startup project, whatever you want to call it. There are different ways that you can start. That's a separate video. Click the link in the description. So yeah, that's my I guess advice to my past high school self. The biggest thing being the gap year is an option. It is a thing. Like back in high school, I don't even think I knew what a gap year was. So definitely it's on the table. You don't have to rush into university. Now every year there are more online courses that you can take that are a fraction of the cost of a university degree. Whether you want to learn Facebook advertising, how to build a brand, social media advertising, how to start a YouTube channel, how to make travel videos, and eventually, ideally, down the road, find something that you really enjoy doing, something that you're passionate about. Like Parker and I, we happened to get into Amazon because that was what was making money at the time. And we're selling a pretty random product just because we did the market research, and that's what is most profitable. That's why we picked to sell that as our business to keep us out here. That's our main business, but now I have a total side business just making YouTube videos and creating and sharing and having this as my creative outlet, but also making me a side income. So ideally down the road, do what you're passionate about and there's plenty ways to monetize an audience nowadays, if you can build an audience around what you're passionate about, because the internet is limitless, right? So that's I guess my advice to my high school self. The gap year, travel, don't jump into college, online courses, take a trip, get lost to find yourself, and maybe see you out here in Bangkok, Thailand. Other than that, I got tons of videos on Chiang Mai, I got tons of videos on Bangkok. Earlier this year, we did stopovers in Dubai, Spain, Colombia, we were in India. Been to like 20 plus countries in this past 3 years, and it's all just been a small online business from this here lappy toppy. And so when I see videos like this geared towards high school kids, I just get fired up and I want to share them about traveling, because obviously traveling and this whole thing has changed our life, and probably our life forever. Yeah, it's changed our life forever. And that's why I actually want to get more views, more interaction with high school kids. I had someone recently hit me up on Snapchat, a 15-year-old kid. He said he was 15 from the UK, and he's like, yo, is the digital nomad lifestyle, is it legit? And I just thought that was cool that he said he was 15 from the UK. So, but I think that we need to be reaching the youth more. So if you got any ideas or places to share videos to reach more high school kids, YouTubers I should interview, collaborate with, I want to reach more young kids, man, because honestly, just looking back at my past self, I wish I would have known different things when I was in high school, and I just wish I could share. You know, a friend was telling me when I was back home, like, yo, you should like go to high schools and just like talk to kids and just be like, yo, this is a career option. This is out there. My life exists. Just share your story. And yo, maybe someday we'll do that, but that's all I want to do, is just share, like, yo, there are other options. If you want to be an entrepreneur and do it independent style, tons of people, tons of kids are doing this, and I'm not like some internet coder genius. I'm just a regular kid that went to high school, went to college, regular frat boy. And yeah, we started watching YouTube and saw the possibilities from there. So you're already on the right track because you're watching YouTube. So share this video with a high school kid or something like that, and plenty more links in the description. And subscribe if you're new, and see you around the world. And let me know what you think in the commentos. Peace, love.
It was better if I didn't continue on with 2 more years of an administration of justice major, because I knew I wasn't going to become a policeman. 19, 20 years old. It was fun, and you could do that then. And that's the time you want to do it. That's the age you want to do it. And in retrospect, I realized that I took off on this trip, which lasted 2 full years, in an effort to allow myself to get lost, to be lost, and to figure out while I'm gone what it is I really should be doing with my life. So I finally determined it was something where I wanted to allow myself to get lost so that I could be found, basically.